can we just turn to the residency by investment, because that's the next category I wanted to look at. This is really quite a new idea, isn't it? The golden visa has been introduced throughout most of the countries in Europe now. They all have different rules as to who's entitled to it, but the basic concept is that some people want to come to live in Spain. They don't want to be actively engaged in running a business, but they are prepared to invest money in Spain. And so if they make an investment in Spain, they will be entitled to come and live here.
Exactly.
So how does this work?
Well, basically, this residency is having three types of investments: investments in government bonds, investments in acquisition of a company, of shares of a company or a business, and or acquisition of property or properties.
And the amounts you have to invest differ between those various categories.
Yes, it's 2 million. It's 2 million if you think about government bonds, 1 million for companies, and 500,000 euros when properties.
So if I come along and I want to buy a house in Spain for 500,000 euros, that will entitle me to come and live in Spain if I wish to do so.
Exactly. You will have a residency in Spain.
And alternatively, if I put 2 million euros into government bonds, that will give me a permit to live in Spain.
Same.
In which case I could rent a house if I wanted to, rather than own my own house. But if I wanted to own my own house, I'd be free to do so.
Correct.
Yes. How do you then go about applying for a golden visa?
Yeah, like we said, this is quite straightforward, very simple, and this is a system that is working very well at the moment. We justify the investment. Investment of government bonds is easy to be justified, just the title. Same thing, the title of the shares. This is a certification of the company house, as well as a certification of the notary, which has got to be notarized and translated into your language as well, and with the apostille from The Hague, with the stamp that recognizes international validity of that company. That is the center of it. In case of a property acquisition, there is a specific type of certificate to be given by the land registry where your property is located, and this is really the main justification, the main reason to get this residency. As well as this, you need some application, you need to have a health insurance in Spain, and you need to have a clean criminal record.
Yes. So if you're a terrorist or a mass murderer, you will not be accepted.
You will not be accepted. Yeah.
And of course, the problem here is first you have to buy the house, and then you make your application for the visa. So if you don't qualify on those other grounds, you could end up with a house which is a great holiday home, but you wouldn't be allowed to live in.
Yeah, you have to do the investment first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. How popular has this been? The numbers of people taking residency investment, how many of them have there been?
It's increasing actually, and has become very popular. And with the pass of the time, we have seen like this is really working very efficiently. I have to say that we all professionals involved in immigration and the law, we are very glad, very pleased with the way that this is working, because in an average of 12 to 15 days from the day that it is applied up to the day that is granted, this quick is working.
That's very quick.
It's very quick and it's very efficient.
Yes.
And this doesn't require any interviews, so it's just the application with all the documents together is applied, and in less than 2 weeks' time we have the approval already.
So if I brought 2 million euros to Spain and bought government bonds with them, literally within 2 weeks I could be legally resident in Spain.
Yeah, you do the acquisition.
That's
and
fantastic.
then it's really quick and it's very, very efficient. And in that sense, it's been improving with the pass of the time as well, because at the beginning, the children were only until they were 18, and now is every children that is dependent, including as well your parents. Your parents are dependent on you. Of
course, you have to be able to show you can support them.
Exactly. You have to sign a sponsorship an agreement in which you include in your family your children and your spouse sometimes, because if you are main applicant, you are the one that did the acquisition of the bond, for instance, or the property, that you are the main applicant, and then you qualify, and you bring at the same application your family. Yes. Will be your spouse or children.
And I was going to raise that next. So let's say I came here and I put €2 million into government bonds, and I got my residency by investment, and I wanted then my wife to join me. She can join me, and she doesn't need to put in another €2 million into bonds or buy a house or something. She qualifies on the back of the investment that I have made.
That's important. Yes. Correct. For instance, if you buy a property of €500,000, you have to make sure that the property is bought by one of the members of the couple, yes. Right? Because if you buy a property in joint names, €500,000, Mr. Smith owns 250,
yeah, sure.
and Mrs. Smith owns 250. None of them qualify to
yes.
apply the golden visa.
Yes.
So in this case, you have to buy the property by one of them,
yep.
And therefore, once you qualify, you can bring your family, which is your spouse and your children, and even your parents, if you like, as long as you commit to sponsor them.
And which nationalities are taking advantage of the golden visa?
In reality, it's for every non-EU country, but with the passage of the time, we've seen that the Chinese are yes. applying golden visa.
In almost every country, that's the case.
Yes, but there are some countries in which they have a very easy way to get the touristic visa, and which gives you 90 days in every half of the year. So 90 days in the first half of the year, 90 days in the second half of the year. In total, we are talking about 180, which is half of the year.
Yes.
For some countries, because the easy way to get it. And they don't really apply the golden visa. I'm talking about countries from GCC like Qatar, Kuwait. Yes. Some of them they apply the golden visa, but some of them even they have qualified after acquisition of properties. They don't apply that because they are not planning to stay longer than 180 days,
sure.
And they have a very easy way to travel sure. to Spain using the visa.
But if you're Chinese, it's more complicated.
With Chinese, it's more complicated. We see the nationalities that we in our law firm are applying this is China, India, Pakistan, some of the countries from Middle East like Jordania.
Not Russia?
Yes, they're applying as well. The thing is that we don't see that many applications from Russia like we used to see years ago.
Yes. Okay.